My name is Melissa Basilio. I'm an assistant coach and manager of our women's national team. First experience with the national team program as an assistant coach was in 2006 with our junior team, then 2007, and then I joined the senior women's national team staff in 2009 and have been a part of the program ever since. Probably before I could remember, I was at the ball field. Both my parents played the sport. Both my brothers played the sport, a version of the sport, whether it's 3-pitch or slow pitch or fast pitch. So I was surrounded by softball all my life and played it all my life. Coaching wasn't necessarily a part of my original plan, but from the people that I've played with and played for is where these opportunities in coaching have come from. When I moved back to Canada in 2010 after coaching in the US for several years, I didn't know what I was going to do in terms of a career, a full-time career, but what I did know is that I wanted to continue to coach and be a clinician for the young female athletes in my region. My first year as an assistant coach for the junior program had a feeling like I'd only gotten my feet wet as a coach. My goal was to work hard, take in everything from the other people on staff. We had Shireen Heisel on staff, who is a former women's national team player, and just give everything I can to that team in terms of what I felt I had done as a player. I had not played at the level, at the national level. I had my experiences as an athlete at the NCAA level and at the rep level and Canadian national championships and that, but I think my mindset was I'm going to learn and I'm going to continue to grow, I'm going to continue to develop. It took me a while to figure out, why me? Why am I here? Why was I given the opportunity? And that was a work in progress, but I think allowing myself to be surrounded with people who will challenge me and help me grow has helped me continue on in the position that I am in this program. The word sacrifice seems a lot bigger than what it actually is. So I guess, yes, there were many things in the past 20, almost 20 years that maybe I've missed along the way, and I've had to make a difficult decision because, we were either traveling or whatever the case might be. But again, I know why. I love what I do. I have a passion for what I do, and I have special experiences of my own. Sure, I didn't play at that level, but I played the sport and I played the sport well. I think it's important that I'm going to speak about younger athletes, that they do see somebody who's like them that's been through the same things that they've been going to. For some reason, it's like you have their attention, I think, and they obviously can relate to that a lot more because you've played the same sport, you've had more similar experiences maybe than them, and so in terms of maybe a comfort level, they can appreciate that more. And when I grew up, my main influences in the sport were my brothers. So these are two much older guys playing the same sport that I played, but they weren't like me. They weren't females. So I knew that it says a lot for these young female athletes, for them to see again somebody who's going through and who's gone through what they're currently going through. And maybe again, I didn't aspire to be a coach at that age, but these young athletes seeing me in the role that I am, maybe they one day will aspire to do the same thing because they do see somebody doing that. The women on our Canadian women's national team have so much to offer. And again, jumping into a coaching career or a career in sport management, whatever the case may be, involves a lot of time and a lot of sacrifice. So I don't want to say it would be a waste for them not to, because again, we all have our different paths in life. We all make difficult decisions. But my hope is that, a few of them will continue on after their playing careers, so that the young up and coming, or even at the grassroots level, any young female athletes can see what opportunities are out there for them. There are a lot of lessons that I've learned the lessons to be learned and continue to be learned. But one of the biggest things that stand out to me is just staying true to yourself. I know along the way, I've probably lost myself. And I think if you recognize that, then it becomes a very impactful situation in career and in life. As a coach, if you try to be somebody that you're not, people can see that, athletes can read that. It's just, I don't think you're being the best coach or best version of yourself if you're continuously trying to be something that you're not. Another lesson that I've learned among the many, and that I think is worth talking about, is, mistakes are inevitable. Obviously, in the sport that we're in, mistakes will happen, and maybe more often than not, but we can't let those mistakes define who we are. So as long as we can step back a little bit, reflect, and see those mistakes as opportunities to get better. The message of not letting the mistakes define who we are rings true. Ran into my 12-year-old self on the street one day. I would tell her to write things down. And I'm still telling myself to do that. And again, this is something I've appreciated a lot with a lot of our current female athletes, is the time that they do take to journal. I did it very irregularly as a college athlete. I do it a lot more often, I say over the past 5 years, but I think preteen at that age, I wish I had written things down, obviously both in sport, but just in general. The question being asked back in 2006, and my initial reaction being, why me? So absolutely honored, and it's been a privilege to be not just on the staff, but to represent females and be a part of this national team program for as long as I have. And I think back, I don't want to say I didn't have the opportunity, but I didn't allow myself the opportunity to play at this level. So it's been a dream and the dream's still going. They've accepted me with open arms and have trusted that I'm here for the right reasons. And those reasons are to help you be the best that you can be, not just in this sport, but in life in general.